For more free videos, go to zeroxbilliards.com. All the videos are organized so learning the game of pool has never been easier. From fundamentals to kicking, banking, breaking, and cue ball control, we have all the videos you need to supercharge your game. I'm shooting the 3 ball and trying to play position for the 8. I notice that my sliding cue ball line heads directly to the corner pocket. So if the cue ball is sliding when it strikes the 3 ball, it's going to scratch in the corner pocket. But if the cue ball is rolling by the time it strikes the 3 ball, it's going to head toward the side rail and end up in good shape for the 8 ball. In this situation, I'm playing a game of 8 ball and I need to break out these 2 balls here. And I want to break them out on this shot. But if I strike the 15 with a sliding cue ball, I know that the cue ball will strike higher on the rail, missing both balls. So since I know where the sliding cue ball line is, I can just shoot this shot above center and that will drive the cue ball toward the rail sooner. In this situation, my sliding cue ball line heads toward the side pocket. So now I know that if my cue ball has draw, I'll miss the pocket and head down table for shape on the 8. In this situation, I'm playing 9 ball and I need to break out the 2 ball. But the sliding cue ball line for the cue ball is going to take it above the 2 ball, so I'm going to miss the breakout. But if the cue ball has some draw on it by the time it strikes the 1 ball, it should hit much lower on the rail, and I should be able to break out the 2 ball. Now if your cue ball heads to a rail after contact with the object ball, the angle going into the rail will be similar to the angle leaving the rail. Once you can see these angles, it will allow you to become much more precise in moving the cue ball around the table. For instance, in this shot, my cue ball is sliding when it contacts the 3 ball. It will then head to the rail at this angle, so it's going to leave the rail at a similar angle. In this example, the cue ball will head in this direction toward the rail. So the angle toward the rail will be similar to the angle leaving the rail. And we can now see that the cue ball will head to this area for position on the 8. Understanding the sliding cue ball line makes it much easier to control your cue ball around other balls. Practice shooting sliding ball shots where the cue ball will rebound off a rail. Try to predict the path the cue ball will take off the first rail. And the more you practice these types of shots, the easier it's going to be to see the angles. Here, I'm playing a game of 8 ball and the window to play position on the 8 is pretty tight. But if the cue ball is sliding when it strikes the 9 ball, it will head to the rail in this direction, and will leave the rail at a similar angle. So it looks like if the cue ball is sliding, I'll end up in my position area for the 8 ball. So next, we're going to be running out a rack of 9 ball, then we're going to run out a rack of 8 ball. And I'm going to demonstrate how the sliding cue ball line is used as a reference point on virtually every single shot. So in this layout, our cue ball has ended up here for a shot on the 1 ball, and I need to play a position for the 2 ball. So let's look at the sliding cue ball line for the 1 ball. If our cue ball is sliding, meaning it has no draw or follow, it's going to follow this path. And as we can see, it may run into the 9 ball. But if the cue ball is rolling when it strikes the 1 ball, it's going to start to head in this direction, which is going to give me the position for the 2 ball. Before I shoot the 1, however, I need to figure out the best way to get from the 3 to the 4 and then to the 5 ball. If I end up near the 2 ball line, I can draw the cue ball back to the end rail, and when I shoot the 3 ball, the cue ball will naturally head toward the 4 ball line. If I can get anywhere near the 4 ball pocket line, I'm going to have a few options for playing position on the 5 ball. If I end up short of the 4 ball line, I can pocket it in the top left hand corner pocket and drift below the 7 for shape in the 5. If I overrun the 4 ball line and end up here, the 4 ball has enough room past the 7 to go in the side pocket. And if you look at the sliding cue ball line, the cue ball will travel in this direction and then back up for shape on the 5 ball. So my goal is to draw the cue ball all the way back to the end rail, which will give me the angle I need on the 3 ball to get to the 4 ball pocket line. Now here, if you look at the sliding cue ball line for the 3 ball, the cue ball will head in this direction if it is sliding when it strikes the 3 ball. This path, however, heads directly toward the 9 ball. But if the cue ball is rolling by the time it gets to the 3 ball, the cue ball will strike the side rail sooner, which will allow it to travel below the 9 toward position on the 4 ball. So we ended up here on the 4 ball. So let's look at the sliding cue ball line for the 4 ball. If the cue ball is sliding, it's going to head in this direction, and it's probably going to run into the 6 ball. So I want to try to avoid this. So if the cue ball is rolling when it strikes the 4 ball, I know that it's going to head above the 6 in this direction, which is going to give me the position on the 5-ball. Since I'll be shooting the 4 softly, I'm going to aim below center to help minimize the cue ball roll. Okay, so we ended up here with a very slight angle in the 5-ball. Since the 6-ball won't go into the left side pocket, I'm going to need to come off the rail and end up in this area to shoot the 6 in the bottom left hand corner pocket. If I shoot firmly with a little draw, I can pull the cue ball back to this area. Ideally, I would like to end up just short of the 6-ball pocket line. Then when I shoot the 6-ball, I can slide the cue ball over for the 7-ball in the side pocket. But if I end up straight in on the 6-ball, I'm going to have 2 options. I can use stunt follow and end up here, which will give me the angle to get position for the 8-ball in the top right hand corner pocket. Or I can draw the cue ball back a couple inches and shoot the 7 in the top left hand corner pocket. So when I shoot the 7-ball, if my cue ball is sliding, it's going to follow this path, and I should end up below the 8-ball pocket line, and that'll give me a good angle to get on the 9-ball. Okay, so I ended up here, and if the cue ball is sliding when it strikes the 6-ball, the cue ball will drift to this area here. Anywhere above the 7-ball pocket line will work fine. So we ended up with a nice angle on the 7. And my goal is to end up below the 8-ball pocket line, which is going to give me a good angle to get on the 9-ball. But if we look at the sliding cue ball line, the cue ball is going to be heading toward the corner pocket if it's sliding. But if the cue ball is rolling, I now know it's going to head toward the side rail right about here, which should put me in pretty good shape for the 8-ball. So here's the sliding cue ball line for the 8-ball, and you can see that if the cue ball is sliding, it's going to head in this direction for the 9-ball. And this isn't a bad option, but I may end up on the rail when I shoot the 9-ball, which is going to make the shot just a little bit tougher. And also, if I miss-hit the 8-ball and the cue ball has just a little bit of roll on it, I could scratch in the side pocket. The safer route is to roll the cue ball, hitting the side rail sooner, and having the cue ball drift toward position for the 9-ball. Next, we're going to go through a tough rack of 8-ball, and once again, we're going to be using the sliding cue ball line as a reference point on each shot. To watch more free videos like this one, we set up a page that is filled with free videos covering every aspect of pool. All the free videos are organized by topic, so learning this great game of pool has never been easier. I put a link in the description that takes you directly to this webpage.